What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports, coming live from my undisclosed location in the Southern California. You know how we do it. Well, everybody, I'm back to break down to break down these PBC fights. But I know a lot of people have been asking me, where's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports, been? Well, I've been doing the family thing, spending time with my family, trying to do right. And also, the reason why I'm back is because I feel inspired by my boy Julian Williams, The Distance. Check out his channel. If you want to find out a guy who really breaks down the fights well, on point with his predictions, really good boxing knowledge, check out my boy Julian Williams, The Distance. Julian Williams 88. I think that's the name of his channel. Anyway, we had 3 good heavyweight fights tonight, and I know the PBC gets a lot of flack. I'm not a supporter of any promotional outfit or nothing. None of these guys pay my bills. At the end of the day, I'm just a fan of boxing. I remember back in the day, you had to have HBO or Showtime to watch boxing. But now, with all the ads, with the Zone and ESPN Plus and boxing being on network TV more often, we get to see the fights on TV for free. So it feels good to be able to watch boxing for free instead of paying extra money for these movie channels to watch the fights. Anyway, I'm about to break down the first fight of the evening, which is Frank Sanchez versus Joey Davchenko. And Frank Sanchez is about 5 to 6 inches taller than Joey Davchenko. If I'm butchering his name, I apologize. And he did what he had to do. He worked the jab in the body when Davchenko came close. And I like the fact that when Davchenko tried to come in, he threw an uppercut to the body, to the chest area, and I think he fought a safe fight. He did what he had to do. Obviously, Frank Sanchez came from Cuba. He's 27 years old, so he's still a prospect. So I would like to see Frank. He won this fight clear on my scorecards, 100-90, and what I want to see Frank Sanchez do, I love the fact that, he used the ring, he used all his skills. You're not going to knock out everybody in the heavyweight division. You're not going to knock out anybody in boxing. I know people look at the records, look at the body types, and be like, oh, he's going to knock him out. This is going to be a bum fight. This fight going to be in the 2 rounds. Joey Davchenko did what he came in to do. He gave the Frank Sanchez 10 rounds of tough boxing, and that's what he came to do. You're not going to knock out everybody. Where I like to see Frank Sanchez fight against a Derek Chisora. That's what I want to see next. Step it up a bit, see what he's really made of. If not, try to really fight against some more stiff competition. Fight against a Gerald Washington, who's been in there with world champions before. Try to go in there with maybe a Charles Martin. But I think Frank Sanchez looked pretty good in this fight. Up next, we have the Efe Njamba versus... I'm not going to even say the opponent's name. I'm not going to butcher this man's name. And Efe Njamba looked improved. He showed more patience. He showed more fundamentals. This shows that he was in the gym. He really worked on his craft, and that's what you got to do. Obviously, Njamba is still a prospect, so he's gonna take a while to develop. So he needs at least 4 or 5 more fights before he's ready for the big time. Even more fights. Build his record. Build his confidence. He's still very young, so there's still plenty of time. The important part with these prospects is don't rush them. There's still plenty of time for them to develop. Don't rush them into a big fight. You don't want these guys to end up like David Reed, who was rushed into a big fight situation. But now on to our main event, and this is. Our main event was Adam Kownacki versus Robert Helenius. Now, Robert Helenius is, if you heard that name before, because in the middle of the last decade, like 2012, 13, 14, 15, Helenius was regarded as a top prospect before he took a couple of losses and he had promotional problems that set him out for a year and a half. But at the time of the stoppage of the Adam Kownacki Robert Helenius fight, I had Kownacki winning all the rounds, with the second round being the closest round. obviously Robert Helenius got the TKO victory. But here's what I liked about Adam Kownacki at first. He when obviously the height difference was bothering Adam Kownacki, but he kept on punching his way in, punching combinations in. But Kownacki was coming in. If I'm butchering this guy's name, I apologize. As Kownacki was coming in, he was taking a lot of shots while coming in, but he was throwing combinations, and I like the fact that Kownacki was working his body. Here's what I noticed about Robert Helenius. When Kownacki tried to come in, being the taller man, he tied him up. Think about with the Mike Tyson Lennox Lewis fights. When Tyson can't try to come in, Lennox Lewis tied him up. That's exactly what Robert Helenius did. And obviously, in the middle of an exchange, Robert Helenius caught Kownacki with the right hand and knocked him down. They ruled it a slip, but it wasn't a slip. That was a knockdown with the replay show, in my opinion. So after Kownacki got up, Helenius finished him off. But here's what I mean. And Kownacki took his first loss. But I just want to say this: just because you take a loss in boxing doesn't mean your career is over with. And Adam Kownacki needs to get back in the gym, work on his game, work on his craft, and he may be improved next time. But obviously, what I found out just a few days ago was that this was a WBA title eliminator. So that makes Robert Helenius the mandatory challenger for one of Anthony Joshua's many belts that he has. Obviously, Anthony Joshua is fighting Pulev in June, I think. So Joshua's tied up. Also, Deontay Wilder is fighting Tyson Fury in July, from what I heard, for a third time. So Wilder and Fury are tied up. So it looks like Robert Helenius may have to wait for a while for his title shot. So obviously, I would like to see Robert Helenius go against, a Dillian White type. But Dillian White's tied up. I think he's fighting soon. I forget who's he fighting. I think he's fighting Alexander Povetkin in May. So he's tied up. So a lot of the top heavyweights are tied up at the moment. But tell me what you guys think about tonight's fights. I mean, it's good to be back. I mean, I'm going to be making more videos. I know you heard this before, but I'm feeling inspired by my homeboy, Julian Williams. And I'm going to try to split these family duties. I mean, anyway, it's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports. You guys have a good night. Peace. Later.